Blazebodyz! Thanks for coming back. It's another week on our battlefields. I don't know about yours, but mine's been pretty bloody. Chopping them down. It's been a great week. Weather's really nice today. Hope you all can get out later today after work, or if you have today off, I'm envious of you. Today, listen, let's talk about, as I've said every single video, I said the most important thing in your battle, in your quest to burn body fat or change your body's aesthetically or build muscle or whatever you're trying to do, it's going to be directly connected and related to nutrition. It's 90-something% of the battle. I know you're sick of me hearing it, and I told you I'm not going to stop. So getting into real specifics this week about nutrition, this week on YouTube, there was a battle that ensued between the meat eaters against the, I'm not going to be disrespectful to either side, because I've been on either side myself. The vegetarian community and then the meat eater community, the regular people community. Although there are particular specific terms for one or the other, it seems like there's one side or the other. But I don't think a lot of people know the different classifications of vegetarian. Now, I was a vegetarian for a good year, or pretty much over a year, and really it's only because, over the last so many years, well, decades really for myself, I pretty much have eaten like a vegetarian, and with the exception of I do include red meat maybe once a month, maybe if that, and then mostly chicken or turkey, and occasionally pork. But I already ate like that. Everything I eat is raw veggies. I eat a huge variety of greens and all types of veggies and stuff. I've always included essential oils. I've eaten like that pretty much my whole life. But I do eat meat, and I think what a lot of people out there think that when they hear meat eaters, they're assuming red meat. No, it's animal protein. And then, so the vegetarian community, they are completely opposed to eating meat, and that's to be respected. I feel I think is more of a conscious decision for the humanity of the animals, and of course there's a health perspective in there too. I think it's mostly an emotional thing. I think their direction is more of cruelty to animals, and they've gone in that way. Now, again, I think a lot of people are confused what exactly. I don't think people know there's a difference between a vegetarian or a vegan. They assume they're all the same, but no, they're different. Now, here it is. Here's the difference: is a vegan, a full-blown vegan, do not consume any animal products at all. None. Nothing to do with any sort of animal products or byproducts. They do not consume any eggs or dairy. They consider that to be inhumane as well. Rightly so. If you've seen the videos online of particular vegan, vegetarian videos online that you can watch, you can see some pretty disturbing videos of how they treat the chickens and all. So you're assuming, you're going to the supermarket and you're picking up a dozen eggs. You don't know the process of which those eggs got there, and they're considering the cruelty to those particular chickens for the hatching of those eggs. And again, if their absolute direction is being sympathetic to those animals, that's obviously that's great for them. And then of course they don't anything at all they considered animal or animal byproducts, with the exception of like they don't even use anything like gelatin or you know, beeswax or anything that beeswax, because it's mean to the bees. They're a full-blown let's keep the animals safe on the planet, and that's great. That's fine. Does that mean by not consuming those particular things that are produced by animals, does that mean they're any healthier? No, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So then there's lacto-vegetarian, and they also do not eat red meat, fish or fowl or eggs. Also, however, they do use dairy products such as cheese, milk, and yogurt. Now, again, if you want to be hardcore, the milk and the yogurt and the cheese come from cows, and the inhumanity of those treatment of those cows to get the cheese and the milk and the yogurt was, you know, you can see where this is going. Anything that any animal does for anything, really, in the long run, there's going to be some sort of not niceness going on, but they allow those particular things, and it's for the essentialness of the protein, really. Then you have ovo-vegetarian, which they don't eat red meat, fish or fowl, or dairy products. However, they do consume egg products. So eggs are the only source of protein they will take in. Again, it's weird. It's weird, the different classifications. I feel like it's either you're all in or you're all out. That's the way I look at it. But they have different classifications, I guess. So again, now look, we're going to get into. Then you have polititarian, which is it's a semi-vegetarian type person who restricts the meat consumption to either chicken or fowl, either chicken or turkey, or some bird. You know, if it flies, it's okay. If it crawls, it's not okay, I guess. And then pescatarian, where pretty much their main protein source comes from like fish. So it's either they can only have fish, or they can only have dairy products, or they can only have eggs, or they can't have anything at all. It's either you have meat or you don't, and it's a choice, and it's to be respected which choice you want to go in. 20 plus years of competing on a bodybuilding stage, having to get up and get down to critically low levels of body fat to better myself and to be competitive, can't be done living off of a vegetarian diet full force. There's got to be some meat in there. You can't do it and you can't do it with protein powders either, because in bodybuilding, especially the last few weeks, it's critical and crucial to eliminate anything that would cause any sort of water retention whatsoever. And believe it or not, protein powders will do that. And for that matter, yes, sure, there are a very small percentage of competitive athletes who are vegetarian or vegan. But just like in anything else, it's a very, very, very small percentage of people genetically that can get away with eating mostly carbs and no meats and such to stay competitive. You don't, for the most part, the average person can't be competitive on stage eating a vegan diet. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to come in as lean as you need to. Now, as far as on a health perspective, in comparison to the meat eaters end of things, which, you know, when they always refer to the meat eaters, they always refer to the keto diets or Atkins type diets, where it's high protein, high fats. Atkins was high protein, high saturated fats, which was proven to be not healthy, of course. The vegan community pushes that the meat eaters' way is unhealthy. They say it causes cancer. They have they'll throw research at you. They'll throw studies at you that this group of people cause cancer. But then on their end of things, it's the same. It's like anything else. Either end of the spectrum, if done long term, will cause its damage. Eating a vegan or vegetarian diet, more specifically straight out vegan, will eventually over time deplete you of valuable minerals and vitamins, and you will become malnourished. Every vegan and vegetarian that I've ever had to deal with to get them in shape when they came to me had a difficult time losing body fat and so on because of the way they're eating. I push people as hard as I can towards a vegetarian type diet where it's minimal fruit, mostly fibrous vegetables, moderate starches, occasionally taken in and taken out, and moderate lean protein sources. That's pretty much would be like a Mediterranean type diet, with, of course, incorporation of like essential fats and so on and so forth. So as far as the one way being better than the other, both are right and both are wrong. If you eat high protein, low carb to zero carb, initially it's fine. There are studies that suggest that it does increase insulin sensitivity and then does help people with issues with glucose intolerance, but carried on over time can go the opposite direction. The vegan way, absolutely, and on the health standpoint, initially at first, it's absolutely better for you when you're taking in mostly fruits and vegetables and minimal animal products. Of course, especially if coming from eating shitty processed food all the time, of course your health will greatly improve. But if done in the long term too long and not incorporating the addition of certain vitamins and minerals and particular amino acids and such, if you're an athlete, if you're a athlete and you're training several times a week vigorously, and you're eating vegan, full vegan or vegetarian, and you're not taking in an additional amino acids, whether it be from branch chain or so on, and you're not taking in any bioavailable good sources of protein, you will eventually lose muscle, and you're certainly not going to look better. So in the long term, that can be bad too. So both have their merits, but either way can be bad. And one way is on a physiological standpoint is not, no one's better than anyone else. Just because you're passionate about being a vegan or a vegetarian doesn't mean that all the meat eaters are evil. And then just because you're like myself, I nowadays in my late 40s stick to mostly a low to zero starch, higher protein, essential fat way, more so a moderate keto way most of the time. That doesn't make me like the devil. That's just how it works for me. Everyone has their own way. So listen, this video is probably the longest one I've done, but I highly encourage you to do this. I encourage you to do for 4 weeks, eat a ketogenic type diet, which is mostly lean sources of protein. Either it be chicken, fish, or turkey, or lean pork. And low starches, low starch, mostly fibrous vegetables and essential oils. Eat that way for 4 weeks. Then, for the next 4 weeks, go full-blown vegan or vegetarian for 4 weeks and see how you feel either way. See how one works opposed to the other. And you will get the idea of what works best for you. Because everybody is different and everyone responds differently. Both ways are great. Both ways have their way. But either way are not better than the other. And no one is better than the other. So let's keep it real. Let's keep it respectful. And we'll take it from there. I'm going to get going, because God knows it's going to take me forever to edit this video and get it online. Thanks for coming by. And keep it clean and crush it in the gym this weekend. And I hope I can see you guys all next week. Thanks for coming by again. Rock on.